Okay. We're rolling, people.
Action.
Hello and welcome back to Uneducated, the show where we feel dumb so you don't have to. Good job. If you didn't recognize the lovely voice you are hearing, it is in fact my girlfriend, Taryn Arnold.
Hello, hello.
I feel like we never properly have introduced you.
I think you just did. I feel like
you're not just my girlfriend. I'm saying
No, I am.
That's all there is to you.
Literally, you guys, you'd be shocked. There's nothing else back there.
You should see her resume. Taryn Arnold, email, phone number, Camden Scott's girlfriend.
Imagine how embarrassed.
That would be sad.
I would be embarrassed by myself.
I would just feel sad if that's what you felt was the sole purpose to you.
That is what makes you a good person.
I don't think anybody would like that.
I think some people would like that. The first person that popped in my head was Scott Disick. For whatever reason, I feel like he might like that.
No, that's who he is. He is Kourtney Kardashian's baby daddy.
Yeah.
That's his title, and he's okay with that.
I'm saying if he was dating someone.
Oh.
I think that he would be okay if it was like Scott Disick's girlfriend.
Ew.
Anyway, that's just one person popped into my mind.
Anyways, with that being said, would you like to properly introduce yourself? Because you've been on, I think, 3 episodes now, and I don't think we have explained who you are, what you do, how you define who is Taryn Candace Arnold.
That's very hard, honey. You're kind of throwing a toughie at me.
I can do it in post. I can do the intro.
It's okay. Hi, I'm Taryn. Taryn Candace Arnold, the first
the one,
the only, probably. We don't know, actually. Born in Orange County, California. Born and raised. Proud. Love it.
Do you?
Yeah. You're the one who doesn't like Orange County. I love Orange County.
Okay.
I feel very strongly about it.
Okay.
So, yes. Born and raised in the OC. Longtime tennis player. Well, what else is there about me? I have 2 older brothers. I love them dearly. I have a mom and a dad. Also love them dearly. They're more like friends. Well, they're equally friends than parents, I would say. Just got a cool group of people around me. A lot of my friends are friends I've had for a long time. And I went to Arizona State and I studied communications, and it was fun. And then I just been in the workforce. Little work mule
on the grind
in marketing, basically, since 10 years.
She's a writer. She's a copywriter.
She's a writer.
Beautiful. You know what? I think that was unintentionally a perfect way to segue into today's episode, because I don't know if y'all noticed. Well, at the top of the episode, I mentioned that Taryn is my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. She is also a woman, which therefore makes her queer in some capacity.
Yes.
But that was not a title you just gave yourself, because it's not even like you named 25 other things.
And if I would have gone on, I don't think that would have been
in the
top
100.
Yeah. No. I probably would have talked about I saw a penguin one time. Before I would have said that. And it's not that I'm not proud. It's just I don't know. I would say I was dating you, but I wouldn't say that I was queer or gay or any of that.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people wouldn't. I think for me, it doesn't come up unless I'm explaining what I do for work, or if someone, sorry, I have a burp.
Get it, girl.
I literally went to turn away and then went into the microphone.
It was cute. Honestly, ASMR.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sell that.
But I only really talk about it if I'm talking in the capacity of the type of content I like to share, how I got started, or stuff like that. I also don't really define myself as it. I think maybe for you, there's a little more layers to why you don't. But for me, it literally is just because it's not this, here's a good example. Anyone listening who's straight, do you say that you're straight when you're describing who you are? Probably not.
No, most likely not. I think they would just say, I have a girlfriend of 5 years
single
or whatever. Yeah, then no.
And they go on lots of dates. Being straight is they don't.
The woke straights do.
I doubt it. The only time I've ever heard somebody say that is unfortunately I'm straight. They're bummed out about it. And I think that's why I go back and forth with how much I like or dislike or have a problem with pride in general, because I just feel like we focus on the wrong things. Like, I just wish it could be that I'm all of these things and I also happen to be gay, because I think that's way more valuable. Like, I got started on social media because I was just living my life very normal.
Yeah.
All my interests, whether I was like talking about skincare or like my clothes or a book I like, and people stuck around because they were queer and saw themselves in me. So yes, it was because I was gay, but it was because I was just being Cammie, but I'm queer and I'm just living a normal life. Yeah. And I just wish we would celebrate that more.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not, when I wake up in the morning, there are so many other things that are top of mind for me than my sexuality. And maybe that's coming from a place of privilege, and we're probably lucky that that's not like the first, like, we're scared when we wake up, or we're like scared of our parents or the country we live in, or whatever it is. But it's also just such a non-event to me that I'm like, I don't even know how, when people are like, post more about gay stuff, I'm like, I don't know what I could even say. I don't know what else there is to say. If someone was straight and they're like, post more about being straight, it's like, it's pretty simple.
I'm like, I do post
that.
It's
showing your life is one thing, but like, what else is there that is like,
just like always wearing a rainbow shirt while you're sharing any other kind of content?
And that's just not me.
No, and it's not me. And yeah, I think you made a good point of like, it comes from a place of privilege, because I think especially like pride parades, I know this year and last year were very different for pride parades. I think there's so much value in those sometimes, because you'll get a group of people together who are often closeted and never get to just be them plus them being gay. They have to hide part of them, a big part of them. So it's the only identity they want to focus on in those moments. So I do get that, but I think that's the first step. And then it's like, okay, but now I don't want people to see me as just like a parade with floats and rainbows everywhere and like little clothes and drinking alcohol. I want people to see me as just a living, breathing human being who's like flawed and normal and will never look at a man. Like that, like, I don't want it to be all of this other fluff. And I think there's room for all of those to exist. And I feel like we only focus on like the extreme side of it. And it bums me out.
Like when you walk into a Target and it's Pride Month and there's like a big display and it's like rainbow vibes and like little mugs that say love is love and the whole thing. What are you feeling in that moment?
I like that. I think that makes me feel good, because Target is so mainstream, such a variety of people shop there. They're all over our country. So I think that's great and a kind of a perfect place to get recognition. I don't know if it's changing the minds of people that I would like it to. I think there's value in like gay kid in Wisconsin walks into a Target with their homophobic parents. That feels a little nice, knowing that there are enough people in the world that this big ass chain is willing to do this. That would give me so much hope. On the flip side, I feel like the closed-minded people who are like, oh, gay people just want to throw it in your face, it just perpetuates that concept for them. And instead of them just like casually seeing it in places, but even, I mean, I think those people are going to complain no matter what, and I'm not trying to change those people's mind. I'd rather worry about the high school kid who's closeted and needs that little bit of hope. So in that sense, love it.
Yeah.
What about you?
So what's funny is, I was thinking about this recently. If I'm not a very colorful person, I don't love like a lot of colors. I don't like bright colors or anything. So I wonder if there was a rebrand of gay, like a gay rebrand, and it was like like this vibe.
Oh my God.
Like neutrals and shit. I wonder if I would be like head to toe, like so excited about these types of things. But in my head, it just feels like
you have to be someone you're not to represent that pride stuff.
Yeah, it's just, and then I feel embarrassed by it almost, and I don't know what that is, but I feel like this level of like,
well, it feels childish. Rainbows feel tacky to me,
and I'm like, that's not, it's not me, and it makes me feel like it makes me feel mad at myself that I'm not like, I don't want to like get a rainbow tattoo. Sorry, but like,
but mine's not colorful.
No, I know, but you know, I'm saying it makes me like feel bad about that I'm not being like maybe a lighter, brighter beacon for gays, but that's just because the lightest and brightest beacon for gays that come to my head are like very rainbowy vibes, like Jojo Siwa status. And I'm like,
that's just not you.
I am a light to whoever needs it.
Exactly.
That is similar to me or similar to you or whatever it is.
And that is equally as important as the people who are like eccentric or love wearing rainbows. And I think that that's totally fine. And again, you're doing great at segueing me into the next topics. So Taryn and I were in the car driving to our friend's house, and we started talking about pride campaigns. And for a very long time, this is like a hot debate of if we like it, if we, as a queer community, do we prefer that? Do we like that? And Taryn and I were talking about it in the car, and I like kind of stopped us because I was like, let's do a podcast on this. And I think that you talking about like, oh, if they came out with a pride campaign from a company that like CB2 and it matched our styles and it was like more muted and like doesn't have to be rainbows, they did it in a different way, we would jump on that to support it. And it led us into this long conversation, which we will let progress here, of like, brands are just doing it wrong. Like, they're all just really missing the mark.
Yeah, we were talking about how like, so obviously when a company is like sitting down to plan their calendar for the month or for the year, like especially a marketing team or a content team or a branding team, they're like, okay, what are the major beats that we have throughout the year? It's like, okay, we got to do something for Women's History Month. We've got to do something for Black History Month. We've got to do something, blah, blah, blah. And they list out all the things. And of course, Pride is one of those. But I find that what they do for Women's History or Black History or whatever, like other months, are so tastefully done that like I never roll my eyes or think like, oh my God, they're just trying to get me to buy from them, or they're just like,
no, I feel that still.
I don't really feel that. Like maybe Women's History,
maybe because of the colors.
I literally think it's a color problem.
Well, you feel that sometimes for Women's History, you said,
I don't think so. Like, no.
Yeah.
If anything, I get annoyed with like how they only focus on women for that month and then they can go back to doing whatever.
I hate that it's all just the month. I think you could do something like, we're donating this month, like having a different cause each month or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, you don't need specific product because now you're just trying to make money.
Yeah. So I guess my point is that I'm happy that brands are doing it, and I would rather they be doing it than not, because I think it's healthy and it brings more positivity than it does negativity. But I wish it didn't feel like a middle school play.
Yeah.
Every brand. It's like Converse comes out with new shoes for Pride Month, and it's like, my niece would wear those. Or like, and she's 4. I didn't mean like she's like a grown person. But like, yeah, I just don't, it feels like they're just trying to sell product instead of just celebrate.
Yeah, it's like they just focus on the colors of the pride flag. And I feel like there's so many more tasteful ways to do it. Like, I think our conversation in the car started because I received, oh my God, I'm actually wearing it right now. I received this workout outfit. I'm wearing a sports bra. It's like this bright yellow sports bra, and I'm not wearing the leggings, but I have leggings that match. And it's from this company called Beach Riot. And I really liked the way that they did Pride. Now, they did do colorful stuff, but it matches their aesthetic. So they didn't create like all these brands just throw like a graphic tee out when they normally don't even do graphic tees. And that just feels so off to me, and it feels so half-assed. And I'm like, what are you doing? But Beach Riot, and at first I thought, maybe I didn't know enough about the company, so I wasn't sure if they were just like throwing these rainbow workout outfits out. But I looked at their website before I accepted the gifting and was like, wow, this is to a T what y'all always do. So they have these workout sets in all kinds of different colors. And for Pride, they did all the colors of the rainbow, and each set is a solid color. And then they had a few that had a stripe down the side, but they already have a set that looks like that with a stripe. That's just not a rainbow. It's like I forget which other colors, like primary colors or something like that. And it felt so right and so good. And then I believe, and I could be wrong, so I'll fact check and put it in the show notes if I am, but I think all the models they used for the campaign were queer in some capacity. I don't know what they all labeled themselves as, but they were like real legit models. And not to take work away from myself, but I like that they didn't just throw like a social media person on to promote it. They're like, no, they probably are models that they typically work with, and they just wanted to highlight them extra because it's Pride. Like, let's show that we support the LGBTQ community all year round. And then they donated proceeds. They like promised to donate a certain amount. I forget the statistic. Again, show notes. And I loved that. I just thought it was so tastefully done. So then Taryn and I started talking about like, why not just create a product that is so on brand for the company and the audience they're already trying to bring in, to the point where people who aren't gay go, damn, those shoes are so sick. I want that. And then they're like, oh my God, that's the Pride campaign.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways to do it. Like, one, you use gay designers, queer designers.
Yeah.
So easy. That is so easy. Or you make a commercial with queer directors and queer actors and queer whatever. But and the last line is like, everyone on this project was queer.
Yeah.
Happy Pride.
Yeah.
Like something simple and pretty and like, I love that. It doesn't need to be this whole splash. I remember I don't know if I sent this to you, but I saw an ad basically like what we wished. Remember we were talking about how we wished that it was just like very basic and said, but we gave our money to whoever instead. A company did that. It was like, this was going to be a splashy Pride ad, but we spent the budget on
donating
elsewhere. And it's like, that doesn't hurt the company at all.
Yeah.
That helps people like us go, well done. Thank you. Now I'm not going to go buy your like rainbow yo-yo and throw it away because I don't want it.
Rainbow yo-yo.
That's the kind of stuff that comes to my mind.
Yeah. And why not just show us what you do to support members of the LGBTQ community all year round? Like you said, like, even if they just said, hey, these are all the people who work in our offices or at our clothing company or the models we have and we work with all year round. Or like, I hate as an influencer, new brands coming to me just during Pride Month. And there's been a few brands who have reached out every single year, but only for Pride. I'm not good enough to work with all year round, but when you need your token gay person, that's when you come to me. That is not Pride. That is not you being an ally. That is you taking a cop out and trying to make money off of me. And it's bullshit. And I will 100% decline these offers every single time. I don't care how much money they are, because you don't pick and choose when I give you value. Like Youth to the People, I work with them all year round. I use their products all year round. I have a relationship with their team. I adore them. They are honestly my favorite company in general, but especially in skincare. And I work with them during Pride, and I don't even second guess it because I know that we have a relationship all year round. But I have, and I'm not going to drop the names. I've always considered doing this, but I'm not there yet. But there are brands that are just only willing to work with you during those months, and I feel like that is so the opposite of Pride. I don't want your t-shirt and to post it just during Pride Month.
It is kind of a tricky line because they are trying to celebrate you, and it is a time to celebrate you.
But why am I not good enough to be on the campaigns in March or in December?
I mean, the fact that they don't reach out to you at all and then only during Pride, that's annoying. But it seems so easy for companies to just say, hey, we're kicking off, like, we're using this Pride month and working with you to kick off a year of working together.
And that would so make sense. But it's literally like specific brands every single June. They're like, yeah, I hope you've been good. And like,
you know, what'd be cool if a company did is if they did like a campaign that was like, say it was Youth to the People or something, or maybe a brand you didn't work with a lot, but I don't know, whatever. Let's say Youth to the People. They reached out to you during Pride Month, or I guess before Pride Month, and said like, hey, we want to showcase you during Pride Month, but we want to do like a content series where we like see the eyes, like see through your eyes as like a gay person through the rest of the year. Because then when they like come out and go, hey, we're celebrating Cammie Scott, she loves Youth to the People. If you want to see what it's like to be a gay person today, like Cammie Scott, follow along here. And like they did a content series just with you throughout the year that showed like Pride isn't just a 1 month thing. Like we're like we are like promising to continue this.
Yeah. I don't even want that. I don't want it to have to be a thing where it's said that it's like exploited in a sense. I want it to just be like, you know what? We support creators of all type. Like if I don't match your brand, which absolutely happens. There's a million brands I would never work with. And I'm sure that there's a million brands who would also never want to work with me. And that's totally okay. And that's how it should be. But I think it rubs me wrong that I fit your aesthetic only for the Pride stuff. Like why? There are so many queer people in the world and there's you undoubtedly have queer consumers out there. You could find somebody if you wanted to work with them during Pride, and then they should perfectly fit your aesthetic all year round. That's what bugs me. Like I don't want it to just be because I'm gay. That's not Pride to me. You just treating me like a normal human, that's Pride. And then because we've worked together all year or whatever, then highlight me in June. Then say like one of our favorite content creators, or like Beach Riot did, like all these models that, again, I don't know if they've always worked with them, but it just seemed like it. They're very like the style of the brand. You highlight those models or talk about the 20 people on your team who identify as LGBTQ. Instead of just like, I feel like everyone's like searching, and it's always last minute. I never get Pride campaigns like in April or even sometimes in the beginning of May. It's most brand deals, for those listening who don't know how it works, like it's kind of a long process. You have your first conversations with them, you have meetings with them, you plan out content, you get it approved. Like most brand deals, some of them are fast, but most of them are at least a month long, beginning to end, of actually creating the content. I cannot tell you how many people will reach out to me during June. And that's always like, what's going on here? I don't know. It all feels very opportunistic and,
I mean, it is
thrown together last minute and like just half-assed. I think half-assed is the perfect way to describe what the majority of brands are doing. But I also feel like stupid for complaining about it, because I do want there to be that recognition, and I want brands to like showcase queer people.
Yeah. So what is if a brand can't afford to work with you all year long, or like they just want to work with you, it's, for a lot of people, it's probably their first thought to be like, shoot, we need to work. We don't have any gay people. We don't have any queer people. Like,
well, then I think
that's 100% the problem.
Yeah.
I agree that that's the problem, but that is the case, I assume, for a lot of people. What do you wish that they would do? Just not reach out?
I would like them to publicly be like, hey, this year for Pride, we took inventory of the people on our team. And I think this applies to like Black History Month and Women's History Month. Instead of, if you don't have women on your team, or you don't have anyone who's not white on your team, you go, we looked around when we went through our roster of influencers, because these brands have so much money. I mean, if they're working with other content creators, all year round. They have the money to do so. So why are none of those content creators queer? Especially like, come on, like in LA, content creators, we're all gay. Like there's so many people. There's so many that you can find that. So I think I just wish brands would be more transparent and go, yeah, we looked at our roster when we were trying to put together a Pride campaign, and we realized we don't work with queer content creators, or we don't have queer models, or whatever they need, directors, photographers. So we're going to put our money into searching for some. Do like a TikTok campaign and be like, submit yourself so we can work with you next year, so we can right our wrongs. Like that would be incredible and so mind-blowing and like really cool to be like, oh, you want to own up for your mistakes? I think people are afraid to own up because they think they're just going to be canceled and no one's going to forgive them. But I kind of feel like our culture is shifting where we want to see people, like we want redemption stories. Look at Victoria's Secret. People are jumping behind Victoria's Secret. They're like, damn, they're going to do this thing. And people want them to succeed. So I don't know. I just think instead of throwing out another ugly, ill-fitting t-shirt with a rainbow slapped onto it and just being like, we did this cool thing for you guys here, post about it for free. Mind you, most Pride campaigns I get really ask for me to do it for free, which is weird. It's like, why do you all of a sudden have no budget?
Yeah, it's confusing because I'm coming at it from also like
I want you to
marketing side.
That's exactly what I want you to.
The amount of things that they now need to have budget for, it just increases every year. Like there are as the world awakens to injustices, there are so many things now to celebrate or call out or have a campaign around or whatever it is that I think companies are literally just.
But I'm not asking for more budget. I'm saying the money you put into the ugly t-shirts, and it doesn't cost you anything to flip through your roster. Like I'm on so many.
Wait, I don't understand what are you wishing that they would do instead? Where do you wish they would put the money instead of they made a Pride t-shirt?
Just saying they're donating instead. They're not making any new product because you don't even spend money on the product.
Yeah.
Save the money, donate the money, or
asking to work with you.
If they're asking to specifically work with me, I'm happy to highlight your products that already exist. Yeah. Like just, you don't have to do some big flashy. It's products. So bizarre to me.
Gay people don't wear different shirts than straight people.
It just doesn't make sense. And honestly, all I want, I mean, they obviously have budget. They're already putting it into these products. Yeah. I would just don't do that and just create stuff that matches your brand, matches your aesthetic already. Use creators you're already using. If you're doing campaigns, use those creators. Use your models, use your directors, producers, photographers. And if none of them are queer, then go, maybe we should diversify our roster. And that's it. Even just talk about it. Social media is free. I know that they have to pay their content creators and their social media marketing people, but you already have those. Those already exist. I'm not asking brands who don't work with content creators or who don't make any campaigns to start doing it. I'm saying do everything you're doing, but diversify it and highlight gay stories, not the product. Make it about the people, not the product.
Well, because products are not gay. So there's literally no reason to highlight the product.
And we don't want them. You're wasting your money.
But other than that, it's like literally it doesn't make sense to focus on anything other than people. I think there's no reason why brands aren't turning to more like gay creators or designers or whatever to be pumping stuff out. If they need to make product to make the spend worth it, which is probably what's happening with a lot of people, is they, pretend it's Coca-Cola or something. Well, that's a bad example. Say it's Target. They go to their higher ups and say, hey, we really want to do something for Pride. And then they go, well, show us that it's going to bring revenue back in. So, but what I think is happening is like why so much product is getting made is because a company like Target goes to their higher ups and says, we need to do something there's some eager little gay person that works at Target that is like, ooh, we get to do something for Pride. What should we do? And they have this great idea, and it's probably the exact sort of ideas that we have. And then it gets higher and higher up the chain, and the people say, well, you just need to prove that this spend is worth it. So what are you guys going to do with that? And so it turns out that it has to be something they can sell. It has to be something that they can profit.
Yeah.
And I don't know that there isn't a % of their profits that's going to some LGBT.
Well, I mean, most do. Most do. And I love that aspect of it. It's just like the kitschy things. I think that's why when you ask, like, how do I feel going into Target and seeing all their rainbow stuff, it's very Target. That, like, when you walk into Target, you see their little, what is it, $5 section or whatever dollar section. I expect Target to have, like, little cheap stickers and T-shirts that I'm going to wear once to a Pride parade. Yeah. That's where I want to buy it from Target. I don't want to buy it from a high-end retailer that I want to get, like, my cute tops and stuff from, and now all of a sudden they're ugly for the month. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I don't like.
On your point where you're saying that, like, social media is free, it's always so easy to just, there's a difference between, like, exploiting people that are gay and celebrating people that are gay. And it's so easy for brands to just highlight gay creators or gay users or gay whatever. By gay, I mean queer, and I know they're not the same thing. But
we're using all of these interchangeably. I think I've said 10 different terms for it.
Queer people. Is there a higher up term? Is there a more broad term?
For me personally, and feel free to comment, let us know if you disagree. Queer to me, I use as an umbrella term because I think saying LGBTQIA plus is such a mouthful that I like to say queer for an umbrella term.
Let's just say Ladala beans. That's the umbrella.
That's not umbrella. That is specific. I am a Ladala bean.
But it's just very easy on social for brands to celebrate queer people. But what I find kind of pointless is that when everyone is doing it during Pride Month, then it's kind of like no one's doing it. Like,
how so?
Because how many times have you just scrolled through Twitter and it's like, we're gonna do a thread of our 20 LGBTQ creators that we love, whatever, and then it's this big thread, and then you're like, you scroll again and it's the next brand doing it, and then this time we're celebrating these 2 moms and their little baby, and it's like it's just the idea that when everything looks the same,
I think that's kind of the point, to like, everyone is going to look at this and see this month because this exists and you need to see this and we are going to normalize it.
I just think it would be pretty powerful if a brand did Pride in, like, November.
That would be so cool. If a brand's like, we celebrated Pride in June this way, but you know what? People don't stop being queer because June ends.
Yeah.
Happy November. We are donating to Glisten.
Or you just shut up during June and you just say, we're going to let queer voices be loud and proud, and we're just going to be quiet and go donate.
I like that.
Bye. See you guys soon. Then you come back in November, like, now we want to celebrate y'all. Like, now that
just as
the
a
parade
reminder
is over.
I like that.
It doesn't mean that Pride is over, you know?
Remember when we were getting ready the other day and we started talking about it, and then I went in the other room and I like ran back and we were like, that's what a brand should do. And we like came up with the whole Pride pitch. You remember that?
Yes.
You don't remember the details I'm telling by your face.
No.
Neither do I. But I think it was like the tagline we killed. And I forgot to write it down. But it was something like, because like Pride doesn't just look one way. It was something like that. Shit.
Oh, well, we were saying that we wanted, like, Pride product. If they had to make Pride product, that we wanted it to be. It was
so specific. We had like their whole like 30-second commercial. We were like, because what was it? This
is the shit we do at home.
It was so good. I know. We kind of said the tagline, but it wasn't perfect. And then I was like, yeah, something like that. And we like went to continue getting ready, and I walked in the other room to grab a shirt, and I like this perfect line. You got it?
No, but I have a good one too.
What?
What if it was like, what if the whole point was like to do like a more minimalist Pride, whatever, and it was like, Pride's not all rainbows and butterflies.
That's so cute. don't. That's so sad. But
No,
that's
but
so cute.
But also it's like you can just be a normal person that doesn't like color walking around in the world. And color is clearly, I hope you're hearing this, a metaphor. I'm not saying, yes, I literally mean color, but I also mean it metaphorically where like you don't need to just be like loud, proud, queer to be legitimately queer.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because you're not shouting you're gay from the rooftops doesn't take away from your gayness.
But also if that's you, and that's fun.
Yeah, that's the idea of the tagline we came up with of like pride comes in so many different shades that, well, I guess that's why it's like a rainbow. Shoot.
I don't think we'll get it, babe. It was
really good. It was just something about like, oh. I don't remember the exact tagline, so don't get too excited. But it was basically like, I got excited really before it was fully formed there, but it was something about how like, because you're normal, something about being normal. It was like, let's say Converse, they release a shoe and it just looks like their normal Converse, but they're donating all the proceeds to a queer charity. And it was like something like, it's our pride merch looks just as normal as you do. Yes. That doesn't sound good. That was like before we hashed it out, but it was something along those lines of like
pride. Our pride campaign is like reflecting
as normal as you are,
is reflecting the people.
Yeah. I know this isn't fully right because I'm having problems with it. I'm like, yeah, but that looks bad. Here, we found a way to say it perfectly. It's gone now. Or maybe I'm not sharing it specifically so you companies don't share it without giving me a cut. I don't know.
But it's clear that it was a huge moneymaker for the company, and
it was a win.
There was so much pride for all the queers.
Everyone would have been cheering. It was really magical.
It would have really been like a Kendall Jenner Pepsi moment.
Oh my God, I hope not. No one's cheering for that.
That's what? I tried to think of the worst thing.
Oh yeah, that was a mess. Wow. Yeah. Anyways, I think some companies can and should do a shit ton of rainbows because it fits them. It makes sense. Like
JoJo Siwa.
JoJo Siwa should make all the I only want to buy merch from JoJo Siwa for the rest of my life. That's the only person I want to buy pride merch from. Yeah. Everyone else just stop and just donate. Or like make it simple and tasteful. Like
every brand starts going to JoJo Siwa.
They're like, "Okay, JoJo." Or even like if you want to do a rainbow, that's okay. Like Youth to the People, they used their dream mask that they have all the time.
Great mask.
It's
perfect mask.
Oh my God, it's so good. And then they did special edition packaging. It had a cute little rainbow on it, the fully inclusive rainbow. They talked about why that mattered. And they didn't stop there. They then went did a ton of stuff on their Instagram. They donated all of the proceeds from that mask during June are donated to a charity.
That's cool.
That's how you do it. If you want to do a rainbow, do that. This is a PSA. I'm begging you, stop sending me stupid pride shirts. Stop making stupid pride shirts. Stop it. Unless you're Target or JoJo Siwa.
Scratch that. Unless you're only JoJo Siwa or Target by JoJo Siwa. Wait, what? Can you imagine, honey, if that took off? Like literally no other company made anything. Everything was just an exclusive JoJo Siwa.
I will sue for credit for that, clearly.
It's like Nissan by JoJo Siwa.
Incredible. But yeah, anyway. I mean, I think what we're saying is in this is that I love the pride. I love the over the topness. I love the recognition and the representation. To make it more authentic and genuine, brands need to stick to their stuff. You don't need to fully change who you are. Like, I think if we I was going to say put up on the screen, but I guess you guys aren't all watching this on video. Anyways, if I popped up 3 pictures of pride t-shirts from different companies ranging from like Target to fucking Louis Vuitton, they don't have pride t-shirts, I don't think. But if I did, I bet you wouldn't be able to tell which one's which. You know what I mean? It's like they all look there. You all are buying them from like the same factory.
Literally JoJo Siwa's factory.
But it just doesn't make sense because it's like you guys don't look like this on a normal day. Stop changing your identity to fit my identity. Just be you and support me and support the community and support people of all types all the time. Just be good. Just if companies were good all the time, they wouldn't even have to do this. You know? Why are they just being like ethical to specific groups of people during certain months?
Well, you know why? It's because
you get this look on your face. I used to fall for this all the time, Taryn. Like, we'll so seriously say a joke when we're in the middle of like an important conversation and just wait to see how gullible I am. And she'll just be like, oh, wow, you know. But she gets this little like tinge in her eye. And now I know every time. I never fall for it.
I think if more companies had a CEO like JoJo's. Also, I love JoJo Siwa. I just am having such a fun time saying her name.
You don't sound like you are making fun of her. You sound like the biggest stan ever.
I am.
I know. I'm saying if you thought that you sounded offensive, you don't.
Oh, okay, good.
You just sound fully in love.
I don't want JoJo Siwa to come for me.
No.
That's my worst nightmare.
I love her.
I do too.
She just keeps getting cooler. I can't wait to see what's next for her.
I want to talk about our sponsor, Water by JoJo Siwa.
Stop it.
This is gonna be me all fucking week. I love it.
All week?
Oh yeah, until Pride ends.
Oh.
7 more days.
And then we're never talking again. I'm actually moving out after Pride. We're not allowed to be gay after Pride.
I'm literally straight after June ends.
100%.
Yeah.
I got my dick appointment right after.
Yeah. Who would you date? Joseph Siwa?
If I were straight,
if you were straight, please don't pick anyone that's like a civilian. Like
a civilian,
you know what I mean? Not like someone that we know,
like plausible, like, where I could date them.
Yeah. I'd really.
Okay,
not
wait,
like that.
shit. Let me change my. I don't know. You go first. I know you'll have like 20 answers for this.
Dead or alive?
Either or.
Joshua Bassett. Just kidding. Okay.
He's a child.
No, he's not.
How old is he?
If he's a child,
Google
take
it.
that out.
Google it. No, I'm leaving it in. You creep.
I bet he's like, he's got to be like 20. Okay. No, I would never.
I think he's like, Olivia just got her driver's license. No, she's like 18.
Where'd you hear that?
I fell for that one.
No. But you know what's funny is she did come out with a song called Driver's License.
Thanks, babe.
She's 20. I knew it. He.
Oh,
I
was like, who's she?
That's
so gross.
I don't know.
You think about this.
I only know what people look like, really. It's like,
what? You only need to know what they look like.
Well, maybe I would fulfill like younger Taryn's dreams, and I might go for like a Zac Efron vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like such a traveler and he's so positive. Not at all out of his looks. Of course not.
Not at all.
Gross.
He's gross.
Taryn Efron, though.
That's good. That sounds cute.
Do you have your man? Your man's?
I think I don't know what kind of guy I would be into if I was straight.
I can't even hear you talking about it.
Like, I know it feels so wrong. Like I always see Harry Styles and I'm like, yes, he's great. But I'm like, I just enjoy him and his style. I don't know if that's the man I would be into if I was straight.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're going to play a little game. I want you guys to comment. I don't know where. I don't know. Just go over on the Uneducated Instagram, comment on something.
Or on JoJo Siwa's Instagram.
I have to pee. I'm going to pee my pants. Just comment what kind of guy, what celebrity, so I can look up visuals. Don't say your Uncle Tom or whatever. I don't know why I said
don't.
uncle. No civilians.
If I see one civilian's name,
Taryn's going to come for you.
Oh, work off.
Yeah, let me know what kind of guy you think what kind of guy, went to twirl my hair, but it's in a bun. What kind of guy you think I would date?
I think you would date an athlete.
An athlete?
Like a basketball player. I could see that for you.
I don't even watch basketball.
I know. That's part of it.
Did you just say I look like Kendall Jenner? Just kidding.
Like respect from afar.
Respect. Okay. Like, I never go to the games.
No. You go.
So you're saying I would get cheated on? Probably.
Yeah, because all the basketball players are sleeping with JoJo Siwa.
I'm done with you.
I'm not done.
I know you're not.
I'm having fun.
That's what worries me. Oh, I just remembered that I posted about people sending in questions. So let's see if we have any that we want to answer. Okay. Coming out at work. This is a great question because I think work is a little weird because you don't have to get personal. You can. It depends where you work. I say you make it a non-event, casually throw it in. Whether it's like, I'm going on a date tonight with this girl from blah, blah, blah. Or like, oh yeah, my girlfriend and I went to a movie over the weekend. Like you talk about life like they all do. You don't have to come out and just be like, guys, I'm gay. I'm a Ladollarine. What is that noise?
The air?
Oh. Yeah, I think you make it a non-event and you just casually, nonchalantly talk about it just as much as the straights in your office. What about you, baby? What are you thinking?
My move is always just to say my girlfriend all the time. Not like all the time.
What if they're not dating someone?
Huh?
What if they're single?
Then I would be like, oh my God, do you have any girls that you could hook me up with? Like,
yeah, it's like if you're getting close, if you're talking about relationships or your sexuality would even be a topic of discussion. It depends where you work. Sometimes that's like, no one's talking about that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in places where like work is family, so it just always comes up and it's very easy. But work is just like another
extension,
like it's another little thing, and you get to decide how you want to present yourself there. I'm on the side of like just be you because you're at work more than you're at home. If you work at like a day job, like a full whatever, then why not just be you? Unless you work for like Chick-fil-A or something.
Well, like like you said, you spend so much time at work. You don't want to be working for someone who's homophobic, and also that's illegal. So if your coworkers or your boss is giving you any kind of hard time because of your sexuality, they're gonna have the problem. So yeah, I just think just be yourself, let it naturally come up. You don't have to like waste time being anxious about like making a big thing of it. Just talk about your relationship.
I think it might also be illegal for them to ask you about it.
You can't explicitly be like, oh, what's your sexuality? But
I mean, I don't even know that you can say like, so are you married, or like,
really?
Are you with any? I don't think that you can legally do that.
That's
if
wild.
you're in a higher
I would get
position.
fired so fast. Yeah. I'd be like, who are you dating?
Well, I remember the coolest coming out at work situation I ever had was when I worked at Patreon. The CEO's name is Jack Conti. He's a friend of mine and he's an amazing person. And when I first started there, him and I went on a walk and we were just like walking around the streets of San Francisco around our building in like a circle. And his wife and him are in a band together. And so his wife would always be in the office, whatever. And I said something about like, oh, you and your wife seem so cool. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what about you? Do you have a significant other? And like was so quick to just not assume. And I was
so quick to say significant other instead of boyfriend.
Yes, 100%.
People don't realize how much that can mean to somebody.
And I've told him 10 times over. I've been like, that is literally the nicest thing that anyone has ever done, because I didn't have to go like, well, no, but I have a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And then like judge their reaction. It was like, it was just so level. So yeah, always do that if you do ask that question.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else you got?
Okay, we're going to do one more question before we got to wrap it up. Thoughts on Luca. If you guys don't know, Luca is the new Pixar?
Pixar.
Is it Pixar?
Yeah.
The new Pixar movie about a sea monster boy who comes on land.
Any thoughts that we share are too much of a spoiler?
Okay. I don't think that this is a spoiler to say. Loved it. Very cute. Very sweet. Wasn't really something I would have written home about. However, I think it is very clearly a story of coming out and coming to terms with yourself. And I think we can say, I don't think that ruins anything. I think if you have watched it already, let me know if you got that vibe. If you watched it and didn't get that vibe, I've had a couple friends be like, holy shit. And they're gay. And they're like, I didn't catch that.
I mean, to be fair, it's not an overtly gay. No, they're not like.
I don't think straight people would notice.
Yeah. Like I don't even think they're trying to slyly be gay. I just think.
They were. Oh, baby. They were fully.
Oh, baby.
I mean, the way that they do it all, it's clear. It's clear.
I just don't think that you were saying it's clearly a coming out.
You could
story.
debate me that it's not.
Yes.
But in my head, no.
I mean,
100%.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying, I don't want people watching it. People out here that like just love to watch stuff for gay shit. It's not that.
Oh, you're not going to get some incredible gay content.
No, it's also like two little boys.
Yeah, so you
like
shouldn't want some intense. Vibes. Yeah, it's really just like accepting. It's all about accepting who you are. And in this case, they're sea monsters, but you also could get the like undertones of there's a lot of parallels to coming out and accepting yourself as gay and realizing that you are not a sea monster. You are normal and it's okay and people will love you. And I really like that.
And I think just to end on that, I think
No.
I quivered.
Stop it.
I quivered.
You also do this. You look up at the ceiling because you cannot for the life of you make true eye contact with me because you don't blink either. You kind of like squeeze everything a little bit.
I was going to say, I think there's like some philosopher said something about how like sea monsters are a massive metaphor for homosexuals. I think it was
I hate you. Oh my god. I will share one last thought before we go. I was thinking about this the other day when I was on the toilet.
Hot.
I know. Super sexy. I was thinking about how parents get so worried for their kids, how the world will treat them if they come out to them. Mm-hmm. And I think it is there's so much good intention behind that of like, but the world's going to be hard, but the world's mean and they're not accepting. Like, I get why parents would say that, and I think it's all well-meaning. However, I think it's so easy to pivot the conversation from the world's mean and hard and it's going to be more difficult, because if you truly support your kid, you understand that this is who they are, and if they're going to hide it from the world, they're just going to be hiding themselves forever. And instead of being like, you don't need to tell everyone right away. Like I've experienced that. I've seen it happen so many times of people being like, you don't have to always tell people though. They might not be nice to you. Instead of that, I feel like adults in the situation should say, the world's not always nice, but you don't need everyone to like you. That's life. Not everyone's going to like you. As long as you like you, that's what's important. So, you know what? Kids might bully you at school. Tell me. We'll talk about it. And that's going to be okay. And if it wasn't this, it's something else that someone somewhere is not going to like you for something. But if you like yourself, none of that matters. And that's what I would love for parents to focus on with their kids. So if there are any parents listening, I know you saying those remarks or you're just trying to protect your kid. But instead of focusing on how harsh the world is, focus on getting your kid to love who they are first. That's all. I just wanted to end on that note. You want to end on anything else? I see you thinking of jokes.
No, I was thinking of something not JoJo Siwa related, believe it or not.
Shocking. I don't believe it.
It's true. I was just on your note. It's like I wish that parents would focus on, yes, self-acceptance, creating like safety within the family, but then also being like, yeah, people are going to be mean to you, but also not mean to you. People might be mean to you or might like disagree or whatever, but that's why it's even more important to find your people. Like,
yeah.
People that you don't need in your life are going to be mean to you about it.
Mm-hmm. But if you have your people,
some people that are looking for you and need you, you know, and won't be that.
Yeah.
And that person's name is JoJo Siwa.
I thought you were going to say Alberto. Alberto is the other little kid in Luca. Luca and Alberto. Is that his name? Alberto? Yeah.
You called him Roberto for a while.
Did I? I'm not surprised. Okay, guys, that wraps it up for today's episode featuring the Taryn, the JoJo Siwa, the Taryn Candace Arnold. And that wraps us up for our Pride content. We'll never be talking about being gay until next June.
Until November, when we pick up our next Pride campaign. I'm feeling goofy.
You're being a goober.
I am literally goofy.
She's going out tonight. She's feeling excited.
I am. I'm going to get sushi.
She's going to get sushi. Okay, no, we're literally just doing inside joke. No one's gonna get this. Love you guys. Bye.